I'm Fleur Bradley. I am a middle grade author of lots of mysteries. I really love mysteries, and I'm excited to talk to you all about that today. So most recently, it's Daybreak on Raven Island. You can see the cover behind me. And that's basically Alfred Hitchcock for kids is how I put it shortly. It's about these three kids go on a field trip to Raven Island, which is kind of like Alcatraz, and they get stuck there overnight and they have to outrun these ghosts, this ghost hunting crew, and solve a murder mystery while they're there. So that's Daybreak on Raven Island in a nutshell. And then Midnight at the Barclay Hotel on the other side of me is my previous mystery for kids. It's a little bit younger. It's kind of like Agatha Christie for kids. So it's about these kids that tag along with adults in their lives, end up at the Barclay Hotel, which is modeled after the Stanley Hotel, and have to solve a murder mystery while the suspects are there. So it kind of goes over motive, means, and opportunity. So it's a great introduction to mystery. So as you can tell, as I'm talking, I really love mysteries.
When I did Banneker 2, I was able to use something from Breaking Bad, a plot device. Obviously, not some of the harder, less middle grade things in that show, but as I was doing it, I thought, well, how wonderful, because children haven't been allowed to see Breaking Bad, so this will be all new to them. So when you come at them with mysteries in the vein of Agatha Christie and Alfred Hitchcock, hopefully you're getting them fresh. They don't know those things. They're going to go and they're going to find them after they fall in love with your books, right?
Exactly. And that's the idea. I want to be that introduction to the genre. So, and that's a bold statement to say about yourself, but it's good to come into writing a book with, a strong vision and a big idea. And that's what was missing, in my opinion, when I wrote Midnight at the Barclay Hotel, and to an extent Daybreak on Raven Island, is sort of that, hey, if you don't know about all these classics, this is sort of an introduction. And you're right, it is really fun because the kids don't know. They genuinely don't know. And I sometimes have to even remind myself, because I'll bring something up, a book or a movie or something, and then I have to realize, these kids are 8 or 10. They haven't seen the movies. Well, at least you hope they haven't seen the movies. And they haven't read the books. They don't know. They don't have that cultural reference that you do when you're older. And it's also a generational thing, some stuff I know about that sort of gets lost in translation because it's just been too long. Like Agatha Christie's some of Agatha Christie stuff is seeing a revival, but other parts of her work for younger kids and for young people are just not as present. They're not going to make the connection of the movie Death on the Nile to the book. So it's a different way of storytelling, and you have to frame everything a little bit with the hopes that they will check out those books and they will check out an Alfred Hitchcock movie, go see the birds. It's an old movie, but it's, when you're watching it, the build up and the tension and the craft involved is just really admirable. So it's me going on a tangent a little bit here.
Well, that's what the show is for. The more you go on tangents, the more information we're going to get that I won't think to ask. So that's funny. Right. The birds in particular, I saw it I don't know, maybe a couple of years back. And obviously with high definition cameras, I don't think the special effects were ever that amazing to begin with. No. They were great for the time, but now they're especially noticeable that, oh, we could do this with computers a little bit better, although I still think computers look like our characters have stepped into a cartoon in a lot of films.
Yeah.
Those, even though the special effects are bad, the storytelling is still so compelling, the performances are still so compelling that we can easily suspend our disbelief and accept that what is obviously a fake bird looks real enough.
Well, and it's that still the stories are the same, and some of them are timeless. Like, for instance, the Twilight Zone. My oldest daughter had a phase where she was watching all the old Twilight Zone, and it holds up pretty well when you're watching it, because even though, the mannerisms and the language is a little bit dated, the story is still good. So, and you can learn a great deal from some of those older movies because they didn't have all the tools available that we do now. So you have to, tell a story without all the pizzazz and all the extra glitter.
The Twilight Zone's a good one for a lot of reasons, but one thing I like about it is it was extremely progressive for the time, and
Yeah.
now it still seems dated, but less so than other shows that were just accepting the common norms at the time that we're trying to push boundaries and challenge.
Yeah, and I think that it's that short story format, because I come actually from writing short stories for about 10 years in the beginning of my career. That's all I did, was write short stories. And it's a craft, and it's a skill set that requires you to write a really good story, because you don't have that time to build up a character. You have to pretty much instantly create one. And it's that story in a nutshell, and that compact storytelling that's so fun. Plus, you can take risks. Like in a novel, there's a certain expectation, there's a certain arc, and particularly in middle grade, because you are writing for kids, so there's some more boundaries and things that you just want to stay within. But in short stories, in general, you can take a risk and try something new, try a new form of storytelling, do something really shocking, or like particularly in horror, I like being able to just do something really scary, and have it not end, no happy ending. That's what you can do in a short story. That's really in a novel, particularly for kids. You don't really want to go there. I mean, it doesn't have to all be tied up in bow, but you don't want to scare the kids, basically.
Well, there's don't want to and shouldn't.
Yeah, true. Now, well, some scaring is good.